Welcome back to a weekly manga podcast book club series where we deep dive and explore the weekly shonen magazine series GACHIAKUTA by Kei Urana. My name is Bruce. I am the proprietor of the White Gray Black YouTube channel, and am of course joined by my constant co-host Gautam.
Hey,
This
not so
week,
weekly anymore,
well,
but
yeah, it's there might be 8 months between episodes now. You never know. You might get one
yeah.
next week. This week we are covering volume 18 of the series, which is chapters 150 to 160. And starting with that, we actually didn't get to all the chapters in the last volume, so let's go over those real quick. And then we will jump ahead to 150, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So, Gautam, uh, these two chapters that we didn't get to are basically flashback chapters for Countess. How'd you feel about these two little chapters we missed from last time?
I liked them. I thought they went by quick, but they kind of had like a lot of emotional resonance. I
Mhm.
think Kairana just has some just fire lines in there about I don't know, perspective and uh just the emotional place that Countess is in.
Mhm.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah, so we see sort of Countess tied up here, wherever he is at the Doll Festival. And then we get flashback. He has very interesting eyes, lots of interesting eye stuff in this series that people like to bring up that
Yes,
I don't agree with.
yeah. He
Have,
has Sharingans.
yes. Basically, they talk about how Countess was born with like a really weak heart, weak constitution. Lost both his parents to some disease. Like he'll never be able to run. Or they basically think like this kid's about to die. Like we've adopted a dying child. Um, but the only thing that can bring the boys peace now, I suppose, would be that necklace. Which, of course, we see the symbol of the Watchmen series on his necklace there. And then he like has a heart attack, and it's really intense when Countess like has all these attacks because I don't know. Gotcha is the art, and this is really good at making things like ugly and disgusting. Obviously, it's a series about garbage, but like it's some intense stuff. Uh,
I like how much shading she uses, like in flashback sequences, as
mm.
opposed to modern day.
Yeah, it has a much more sort of like sketch, like almost like not pastel style, but like it's the lines are like actually a bit rougher, and yeah, it is different. You
Yeah,
can tell it's a flashback based on yeah, just you're right, like the shading. There's more grays overall. Um, Interesting here that we see a guy give the necklace to Countess here. So we've got another person kind of involved with the Watchmen series.
I think that's his dad, who's dead, but I think that was his like parents
Oh yeah, yeah.
gave it to him. I thought something here was kind of interesting. Well, a few things is one is like it used to belong to the Sherbrooke family. Were they super well known, like in this world? Because people don't know Rudo that well based on his last name, I guess. I mean, like certain people do, but
Yeah,
it
well, I
seems
mean,
like
I guess that's the thing is that the certain this I have a
certain
sneaking
person.
suspicion that Countess is is potentially important, like on the level of remember all those symbols under the like the art that we saw there, where we thought one of them was the the eye on the back of what's his name's neck, and one of them looks like the umbrella, and all those like symbols.
Mm-hmm.
I think Countess might his family or just him, whatever line you want to say he's from, I think might be from that. Like he might be one of
Yeah,
those symbols that we couldn't you couldn't quite place at the time.
he does have special eyes, so
He does.
I
He
wouldn't doubt
does, and
it.
that's yeah. And we have to maybe go back and look at those at some point. But
Just
yeah.
one other thing on this page is I thought this line was both like I don't know, it was a hard line, but also uh kind of interesting about like the Watchmen series
Mm-hmm.
or kind of like one of the mementos from the Watchmen series is to those who are fulfilled it acts as poison, to those who are empty it brings peace. And I'm not sure that like that could be literal or metaphorical. If it's literal, it means like the Watchmen series is feeding on like ambitions and fulfillment and hope. Um and if that is the case, that would also make sense with kind of how uh like everything is realized within the series, how everything kind of has its own soul, so to
Mm.
speak.
Yeah.
But if it's metaphorical, it could mean something like it gives power to those who don't have it. But if you have it, it brings bad stuff, whatever that bad stuff is. Maybe
Yeah.
stagnation, something else. I don't know.
I think, I mean, I from what we've seen in the past, right? What's his name put on Rudo's gloves, and he was like in physical pain. Like it was like, yeah. I think you're right. It's interesting that you brought up that, um, we know that humans have anima slash a soul of some kind, and we also know that the like awakened weapons also have anima inside them, and it's the same with like the discarded soul that's awakening the trash beast. So there's a lot of like, you have a soul and you can give us, investing part of your soul into an item awakens it and all this stuff. And so I'm wondering if that the Watchmen series maybe for people who are like missing part of their soul or who don't have it, or if the poison is that it's like the reason they're so strong is that they've been mourned by people and it's consumed part of their soul slash anima or whatever you want to say, something like that. I'm imagining that this is all tied to the sort of anima awakened trash beast,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
all that
like
stuff.
these are like D&D esque cursed objects that grant huge power at a trade off, but I just don't know what the trade off is. It's like still vague.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we can see generally just from Rudo that there's, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to just,
Sanity?
yeah, I mean, it's not just like a general abuse. It's more like a people who did not grow up, or people who like the world has wronged, or who are their psyche is damaged by past events or something like that, right? Like these are not, I'm in a big air quotes here, these are not like normal people, these are not like sane, right? Like they something happened to them, right? Like Rudo and Amo, both of like essentially abusive things. Like Rudo has the scars on his hands, Amo has her whole backstory, and they're both sort of fine using the Watchmen series. And same with who's the big bad guy? What's his name? Zodel, right? Like we've seen maybe one little flashback or two, but he clearly like lost his whole family, or there was some kind of big attack or something. So clearly there's something with like, if you're a messed up, big quotes here, if you're a messed up person, then the Watchmen series gives you power, and if you are not that messed up, then it takes your power.
Yeah, if you're like really well adjusted and your family loved you and all that stuff, right?
Right, right.
I think one interesting through line for all of these people is that they have had terrible childhoods
Mm,
and they had no real connection to people in the world.
right.
Like all
Yeah.
of these people have struggled to find any kind of connection. Amo being isolated, Zodel, I don't know. He seems like he has issues. Rudo, we know, you know. And Gauntus also literally cannot make connections in the world due to his illness.
Yeah.
Well, in a conventional sense, right? Yeah, I don't know. I something there. I just don't
Yeah.
know what yet.
There's definitely something there. He says like, my dad is right. Even so, I like this like painful like rah. Yeah. I also like, man, the art here is gorgeous because I love how the tears are not like, they seem like his eyes are melting, right? It's not like they're tears. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
evocative.
his
And
eyes are cogs. It's interesting.
yeah, something like that.
His Yeah, it's
Um,
like a cog shaped.
yeah. So Countess here is basically just like, all right, when am I gonna die? It's over for me. And then we get, who's this cute little girl sitting by him here? And it's Lily. I like this whole little section here where Lily is just like, it's the obvious sort of, oh, abusive, sad boy who's going to die meets energetic, Genki girl who's going to take him on adventures and be his friend, and it's a little tropey, but I don't care because it's great.
Yeah,
So
sick boy meets abused girl.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we learned that she's also not, she's also in a
I'm
bad
glad that they
place at
made the
times.
the grandparents like chill because
Mm-hmm.
I know how these like flashbacks go and it's usually like everybody sucks, but
Yeah,
it's good he has some kind of support system.
yeah. So we get, Countess is kind of a little like, oh yeah, it must be nice to have a happy life and be able to smile and stuff. And then, they don't realize like, oh, Lily also has, issues. She's clearly been like hurt or beaten by somebody. Um, it's like Countess like, aren't your parents worried? Lily's like, nope, they're gone. They always said I was too noisy. They got mad at me lots of times, but finally left me in the trash heap. I was lonely, so I worked really hard to find my way home. Um, yeah. Uh, I also like here. I think this is indicative, kind of what we were saying about, you know, abused, wronged, non-functional people, whatever you want to say, being able to use the Watchmen series. Is that the way that Countess sees Lily isn't like, uh, he said, I'll read what he says. He's like, but he says, unfortunately, I had to find out that when it connects with someone, meaning his heart, even a heart like mine can start to feel warmth. And I think it's very interesting that the first line is there is, but unfortunately, right? He's like, oh, I've made a friend and I like this girl, and that's an unfortunate thing for me, which is clearly kind of like not a normal response that most people would have. But for a Watchmen series person, that seems normal.
Yeah, I think in reality he was ready to die, and like she gives him a reason to want to stick around, which which is tough for someone with his condition.
Yeah, totally. And then I think the next one, yep, we got a nice color page. It's cool. Pixel art here.
Yeah.
Vital Instruments Connect.
Is Rio's hair white? I have no idea.
No, her hair's red normally. This is like a reskin, recolor thing.
Okay.
Her hair is
oh
normally red,
yeah. Yeah, you're right. Engine is also like black hair in this one. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, instead of basically blonde, I guess. So here we get a little bit of just kind of like a page or two of the origin of Two Lily's vital instrument, which is her staff that she used in the stage performance thing. And she does the kind of like child magical world of wonder. It's like, it's a sorcerer's wand. It's like, no, that's just grandma's cane. It's like, I can see you have the makings of a real wizard, Lily. It's like, how can she smile? Like, again, this is like, Countess is so messed up as, he's like, I don't know, 12 or 14 or something here. And he's just like, how can people smile? Life sucks so bad. But Lily is like a bright and shining beacon of hope. And he like has an attack, and then because Lily's there, he's just like, oh, I can breathe better because she's here. Yeah, and they're like, oh, Lily, it's dark, you should stay here. And she's like, no, bugs will take over my house. I'm gonna go. And then we get Countess sort of the awakening his power, so to speak. He's just like, if I ask, she'll tell me about her life and circumstances, but what's really inside her, I can almost hear it, but I can't make it out. I want to know. I want to know. And then he's holding a stethoscope, right? Doctor Stethoscope, and the Watchmen series necklace thing awakens, and he creates impulse. He creates the first choker, right? Lily's Rose, which this is great. The double panels in this whole section are amazing. So
yeah, and I expected Lily to have like, because she keeps going home and she's like, the bugs will eat it up. I was like, okay, she has some dark secret, but
yeah,
no, it's actually not that.
It's still kind of dark. She basically is just she doesn't have anybody and she lives alone and doesn't. Like, what can a child do at that age? Yeah.
There's like this good line that was in like the 148. You don't have to scroll back, but it's like when Lily was mentioning how she didn't have, like her parents kicked her out and her home is just empty. Countess thought to himself, I don't have a future, but at least I have a home. And I think it's just like two kids going through it, but he gets a little perspective instead of just wallowing in his pity like he usually does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's good growth.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it also for the whole volume, but I think that the character things that happen to like 7 or 8 characters in this stint of chapters is really good. There's like Countess and Lily and Bruno and Engine and everybody. So and so he gives her the choker. He's like, what? There's a voice coming from my necklace. He says, oh no, is there no way to turn the listening power off? It's to Lily's voice. He's like, Mama, why won't you come home? And of course, no child escapes this world without being very slightly abused and messed up. Yeah. And so we get, Lily, I'm here, I'll be your home. My real wish, my real power is to reach the people wearing my chokers, to open the door to their hearts. I take thoughts and voices and I deliver them to the soul. That's very cool. And then the last this would have been the end of the last volume if we had read the correct things. And then we have Mimo here going, and I will gratefully make use of that power, and looking like a fucking baddie
And
in the bad
yeah,
guy sense.
Kind of what I wrote here is that he doesn't have conventional means of connecting with people, but he can still connect, even if it's like one way. Yeah, I think that's very selfless, but I think it speaks to just his character throughout this volume, and I guess all the volumes that he's been in so far.
Yeah, totally.
He takes on suffering. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gauntis is yeah, he's very that's exactly it. Gauntis very much is like a I will take on the pain of others to help them, self-sacrificing type of guy. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we're officially into the actual volume one, starting with chapter 150 here. So what did you think specifically about this volume? What I mentioned, I like the character stuff in here. What's stood out to you doing this volume?
Yeah, so I suppose it is just, it's kind of different than the two chapters we just covered, because that was very character heavy. And I love that. But this is kind of a mix of like character stuff and huge lore drops.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty solid. Mimo is, I I think, an interesting villain. He's an interesting villain, but I don't know. He feels like kind of a loser to me,
Oh
even
yeah.
even through all of it. I think you're supposed to maybe feel that way. I don't know. Let's talk about it, and I'll land on how I feel about it.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
at the
definitely
very
get
end.
to a moment pretty soon that kind of shows how loser he is. But yeah, all right, chapter 150 here. So we Countess all the power, all of the chokers, giving him energy. He's using this thing. And then we kind of have Gauntis, because he can connect people's souls through the chokers or whatever, brings Rudo kind of into his memories to talk to him. He's like, it's a nice place, isn't it? It's peaceful. Time passes slowly. It's my hometown. Says, I've opened the door to the heart of everyone at the Dollfest wearing a choker, but you're the only one I gave these memories to. He basically showed Rudo his past. I think is kind of what the last two
Yeah,
chapters were showing. Yep.
yeah. So Rudo's caught up on all of this as well.
Yep. This is a heavy burden. I'm sorry to make you carry it. This is what my greed has wrought. Um, and then we get there's a little bit more backstory here where Mimo meets him. And there's he mentions that the communication device, the chokers that he's made. It's like if we distribute them to the masses, the world will no doubt be your oyster. My name is Mimo. Won't you climb to the heights with me? Um, they give Gauntis a like mechanical heart, which is interesting. And there's a man, I don't remember if it's in this one, but there's a mention. I think it's maybe in this chapter later, maybe in a page I didn't grab, but there's a little drop of like, oh yeah, the guy who made your heart, and they like say something about him, and I'm wondering if that's going to come back and be important to a guy who can make an art. I mean, this is like we can't do this in our world, and they can. I mean, I guess it's like a fantasy world, but still, the technology is not that far advanced from us, so I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I, I guess that's why he has clockwork eyes. Now that I think
Oh
about it,
yeah, potentially
that makes
could be. I
sense.
mean, no, because he had the clock guys before the heart, so
Yeah, I think it's just a flair to show kind of how kind of patchwork his existence is.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. But yeah, they talk about how like they sold the chokers for cheap so that everyone would have them. They still made bank. And Countess kind of here goes into he's just sort of like I was greedy. I thought this was like I could live and I could survive, and I worked and I worked and I worked because um all I wanted was money so that I could make things safe for Lily and make things safe for me and all that. Um, he says, Rudo, do not. This is like a good. This is
I
a
love this.
direct
Yeah,
preaching thing to Rudo. Yeah, I like this too. It's like Rudo, do
and to
not
the audience.
yeah, do not let your goal take you captive. When your goal consumes you, you lose sight of what matters most. Clearly, this is a, you know, um, this almost kind of also foreshadows the very end of this volume and potentially what happens in the next volume. Is
For
that
sure.
is setting up a sort of manipulation of Rudo's goals to get in the way of what really matters, which to Rudo now obviously is like the cleaners and his friends and the people he cares about and stuff. So,
Yeah, I think it's just like a good. I think a lot of people just in the world forget uh to have a bit of perspective on why you have the goal in the first place, and it's easy to get like caught up in whatever it is, money, ego, whatever,
right.
and throwing everything away to chase just greater heights instead of um having perspective on why you set the goal in the first place. And I don't know. I think it's a good moral lesson that I don't see in shonen very often, because
No, yeah.
oftentimes the goal is everything.
Yeah, it's very much a Gaunt has wanted money to support and help Lily and his family, and then the goal was he wanted money. He didn't forgot why it was, what he really wanted. But he says he wants to quit. Fair warning, I don't remember if it's the next page or the one after. There's a gore page coming up that I have censored a little bit, but not fully, just enough that YouTube hopefully won't get me in trouble for it. So fair warning, if you're sensitive to that and you haven't actually read this, you might click ahead 5 minutes or find it back. I'm not going to stay on the page for too long, but it's definitely coming up. Yeah, so Mimo kind of lays out a little bit of his plan. He's like, you want to get people's information through the chokers and broadcast it. It's like, my chokers are not tools to disparage others. He talks about his fit, which is like, what are you wearing? It's like, it's a nice design, isn't it? Symbolic.
I don't know. Even through like this bleak situation, he kind of cracks me up a little bit. He looks really dumb.
He does. But it's
so
also like it's also the iconic, like, make sure you can recognize a character by their silhouette only, and it's like that Mimo is recognizable like that. Yeah, and so would you like to join me as ruler? Right, Mimo clearly is already aiming. This is aiming to be ruler of the world or whatever. He says, "Let me arrange a surprise for you," and then here it is. He's there. Now you can concentrate on your job, and we'll go through it pretty quick. But that's I remember when I read this as it was being published, and I turned that page, and that was like a holy shit moment in like a
yeah.
It's like TV 14 is suddenly like, we'll just be R-rated real quick, because it's like it's probably it's definitely the most gory thing that the series has shown so far. Literally just two decapitated elderly people, like neck stumps out.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Yeah.
Dude is very Joker coded, or Kefka coded, more like.
Yeah, very much.
But we'll see that more as we go.
Yeah, for sure. Kefka's a really good analog, I think, probably. But yeah. So Count is here. Only thing he has left is Lily. It's like, you can't let it happen. I've let my greatest power fall into Mimo's hands, but it can't happen to Lily. I won't let it happen to Lily. Please, Rudo, protect Lily from Mimo. Then we get the lore stuff. It says her power, it gives her the ability to do anything, but that power comes with a price. If she uses it to harm anyone, she will die. So literally, Tu Lily is the most powerful. That to me says like, Tu Lily is actually maybe has the most powerful vital instrument of anyone, but it can't be. It's not an attack thing. So, and it doesn't matter how evil he is, Lily can't fight back. For Lily, ignorance becomes a shield. That's why I told her nothing about my situation, nothing about the Doll Festival. Which is interesting, because I think Tu Lily knows more than Gauntus is sort of
for sure.
On.
For sure, he's underestimating. It's not that he's even underestimating her. It's just he's taking on like a sacrifice that nobody wants him to. More like, she is probably well aware, but can't do much due to her conditions on her power. So she's like enabling other people to act.
Right.
It's like two support abilities. Yeah. Is what they have.
Exactly. Gauntus' sort of desperate plea is like, we need you. Rudo locks in, don't worry, Gauntus, I got this. And this is the very last page of chapter 150, which is Tu Lily just kind of watching over from the distance in her awesome bird getup. Chapter 150, wait for me.
Yeah, and the title, Wait for Me, right? That I feel like that indicates that Tu Lily is very much in the know of her friend's suffering.
Mm-hmm. In some way, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in some way. I don't know how much she knows, but she knows something.
I think she I can't decide. To me, it doesn't to me look like this panel is her like watching and being like, oh, I'm coming and I'm going to come to help. I feel like this is more like she's removed herself from a situation she knows she can't affect, but she's still watching to like see what happens. I think so. Yeah, I don't think this is her like I'm gonna come and help. This is like I'm watching and waiting. We'll see.
She played her part, and now she's like
Exactly. Yeah.
fingers
Yeah.
crossed, waiting. Yeah.
Cool. Opening page here, 151, something inhuman. We've seen. I think this is maybe the second or third one of these we've seen over the past chapters. We get arms and kids and a clock up top. I don't. Do you have any theories on what this is, Captain?
No,
Okay, we'll move.
I don't
past it.
recognize these people.
Yeah, there's
But
not much recognizable to attach, but
they all have these things on their arms, every single one of them. So
tattoos, yeah,
like the tattoos,
arm tattoos of some kind. Yeah. So goodwill is hard to convey to others because you never know someone really means it. That's why I gained the power to open the door to people's hearts. I wanted my sincerity to touch Lily's soul. If Mimo's voice reaches a soul, that this is we get again. There's a lot of lower exposition here. So it's like if Mimo's voice reaches a soul, that soul will degenerate. A degenerate soul will do anything to carry out the order she gives it, even remake its own flesh. Hint, hint. Remake its flesh? What do you mean? It's like he had to accelerate his timetable, that's all. I am positive that once he gained control of the ground, he would use my power to execute this order. His next move is to take everyone at the Dollfest wearing a choker and remake them into something inhuman. And we get sort of like a big energy thing. We see Rio over here. It's like, that does not look good. We have, I cannot remember this guy's name, but the two javelers that were helping Mimo.
The weapons girl, and is a guy's power paper? Paper shield?
Letter. Yeah, he's like a letter shield and the baseball bat.
Right.
Yeah. Baseball bat girl, yeah. So they're we have the two twin guys, like, what's up, what's happening? If Rudo rushes in. I really like this part because it's like this it doesn't happen a whole lot that the good guys like make an attack and the bad guy like grabs someone to be a human shield. Usually the good guys, oh, I'll stop and won't hurt them. But here it's like Rudo dashes in, Mimo grabs a guy, and then Rudo cuts the dude's arm off as like he used a civilian as a shield. Like,
I love that vacant look on that dude's face too. Poor dude.
He's just like, what? Yeah, and then Mimo turns his microphone, his vital instrument on, says, attention all choker wearers under the sound of my voice. I order you to transform into my vision of my personal army. Yes, I will call you my apostles. And then the guns are back.
Hell yeah, guns.
It's just like, oh yeah, you forgot guns exist.
Why doesn't everyone just carry us like a piece on them? You know,
well, you say that, and we are about to have a couple pages where almost everyone does carry a piece on them. So, it's in my apostles, and he gets shot through his thumb, which makes him drop through his thumb, and it goes through his vital instrument, and like through his shoulder. And we get sort of like a what? And it's like kink, and we have I love this, like Mildretta is up here with just like a Car 98. He's like, sorry, didn't mean to ruin your big scene. She just shoots him through both knees, like a perfect shot. It's like first shot went straight to his vital instrument. Second shot got both his knees. Impressive as always, Mildretta. I like these. What these are like from the South Branch or whatever it was. These two,
right?
These two girls. And then we get sort of one thing I really like about this volume as a whole is the back and forth between like, oh no, the bad guys are winning. Oh, the good guys are winning. Oh, the bad guys are winning. And I like this push and pull of like, oh crap, it's about to go down. Mimo, he's hatching his ultimate plan. Everyone at the Dollfest is about to get messed up. And then it's like, boom, boom, nope, got it under control. Shot him in the right places. And then we have Engine, everybody saying, I was like, we just removed the last of the chokers from the attendees. It's like, what? It's like, thanks to my fantastic team doing all the fighting, I had nothing to do but focus on the slow and boring work. And the guy lost him. It's like, oh, my arm. It's like, oops, sorry, my guy. I'll get a healer to take care of that for you. Is Rudo, I like that our point of view kind of follows Rudo. It's like Rudo had no idea this was happening. He was so focused on Mimo and the backstory and stuff. And it's like, Helgard, begin evacuating the crowd. And we see Goka, right? Who's Zonka's older brother.
Yeah, this dude looks sick.
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen much of him before. I think we've seen him once, maybe before, but yeah, he plays a little bigger role in this volume.
I like his outfit.
Yeah, he's very cool. He's like, hey, Goka, this is our first joint operation. Having you be the other guy thinking about the boring job really made my life easier. Thanks, Mr. Hardworker. I love this silence layabout. It's great. Everyone's interactions, Engine is my favorite. He's like, call the exit the building. They're kind of evacuating everyone. He's like, put Aisha in charge of healing the attendees. She'll need electricity for that, but August can. And then something else is going on? It's like, no, Rudo, they all understood and cared at the rules that being told. On the other hand, I'm an adult too. But it's like, I had no idea Engine and Hellguard were collected chokers, but I should have noticed. This is a good twist to a shonen thing in that we get, hey, this is what adults can do. As opposed to like, oh, the adults are bad and wrong and the 14-year-old boy is the right one. This is very much just like,
yeah, agreed. Have them do something.
Yeah, we get that Rudo's the main character, but he ignored the sort of like, the adults were actually helping and doing good stuff, and don't discount them for that. Rudo says that's just because you've never opened the doors to so many hearts at once before. I could only see what was right in front of me too, as usual. There's someone other than Rudo. The door to someone's heart is open. This is like a Countess is saying this is like someone's heart is open right now. Like someone has a choker and is using it. It's like, Rudo, Maimo is still, and he says like, I still have my mic, never turned it off. And he says, I order myself to take a form that is beyond human. It's like he gave himself an order. He's like, essentially, Maimo's power allows him to control a target when he drinks their blood. If Maimo's voice reaches a soul, that soul will degenerate. That degenerate soul will remake its own flesh, a form that is beyond human. This is the sickest shit in the world. I fucking love GACHIAKUTA, man. It's so cool.
Yeah,
the first time I saw this, I was like, but that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's sick angel form Maimo.
Yeah.
It's very Kafka-esque.
Yeah, it's super, and like a man becoming a god, kind of in a way.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. It's cool. I also like the we'll talk a little bit more maybe about this because it matters a little bit more as you keep going, but the fact that Maimo remade himself into what he thinks a god will be, which we'll talk more about God when that comes up, and he looks sort of like we would imagine kind of angelic, right? He has a halo around his head. He has the sort of angel wings and stuff. Even though all the times we've seen like, the I guess is it called just the Watchman, the big thing that's like between the two, the orb and the
right,
the sphere and the ground. It's like that thing doesn't look like an angel, and that's we know that's a quote unquote god of some kind. So and that thing
looks like a big shadow dude in the fetal position, kind of.
Yeah. So this is, I think the next chapters will be 153. Crack, snap. He's like remaking himself, locking eyes with Stranger Things. 152. Yeah, it's such a good design though. I love how it works because I also like that the hair that Maimo had that was like flat. You could see it's like curved up on itself to make
into a halo. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
There's a little bit of Maimo kind of left in the design.
And he has his W belt still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's just upside down. His Maimo belt is like a W now. I don't know.
So basically here, I think maybe you see it here, but like Mildreda shoots at him, and then I love this because he just like goes to like bat away like a fly, and Engine has to like jump in, and he gets his umbrella shield out. They're sent like forever far away, like 2 miles away, like flicked away by this thing. It's such a good raising of tension and stakes to be like, oh yeah, the previous thing was like everyone at the Doll Festival will get hurt, blah blah blah, and then he's just like, nope, I'm super powered and I can swat away a fly and it will cause a massive hole in the wall here.
It's also a good way to get rid of Engine.
Yes.
For this
fight. I was thinking that when I was reading it last night. I was like, oh yeah, and this like immediately removes the person you assume to be like the strongest giver in the area. And like a smart tactician, like Mildreda is gone too. I think Mildreda and the other girl whose name I don't remember both get knocked away. So they're out of the fight. Faced with this strange creature, unlike the trash beast they know, all but Mildreda reacted too slowly. It's like Hellguard, and every single one of them knew instinctively that they must destroy it here and now. I love the like blank face. It's just so like bored.
Yeah.
I like to just sort of like Hellguard, kill it. And then you realize everyone in the Hellguard has a gun, which is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. They fight humans, of course they'd have guns. I like that it's not just like it's not like, oh, Ryu has a pistol and it's a rare thing. It's like, no, the humans who fight other humans have guns. It's just that we didn't interact with them much. We were fighting trash beasts and other givers, and so all the givers don't have guns because they have theoretically stronger weapons. So,
I mean, kind of. Rio still pulls out a Glock at the end
Rio
of the
definitely
day.
does beat Jabber with a gun. So
Jabber and I'm forgetting her name. She had a very weird name. If you
oh
remember
yeah,
if
I
you
know who you're
remember
talking.
her.
The
Yeah.
electric hair girl. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I also don't remember her name, but it was weird. I love these three panels at the bottom here because he's just like ominously floating towards
Floating,
them.
yeah.
It's just with the slow zoom in. It's great. Um, yeah, they're all shooting, and he goes right to Zonka, and we have Goka like being like chasing after, shooting him with. I think he has a revolver as a gun, which I think is cool. They all have. If you look here, it's like this guy has like a machine pistol, a shotgun, a pistol, like a rifle or shotgun thing. I think it's cool that Goka has like a revolver and is
Yeah.
a samurai. Um,
And I do like Maimo's way of fighting where he's strategic in causing the most chaos possible,
yeah,
where he's just ignoring everyone else's shot and goes for Zanka because he knows that will have the most emotional kind of it'll cause the most emotional damage for his brother.
well, yeah, I think it's that, and it's also like he's getting rid of the givers too. Like he knocks Engine away. Rio's being held down, so Zonka, the twins, and Rudo are the only givers left. So he's just like, oh, Zonka, we're just gonna get him first. But Zonka continues to be quite possibly the best character in the whole series
Yeah,
because
I love Zanka. He never
he get
catches a break, but I love him.
no, he's always getting like abused in the in every fight he's in. Um, but Maimo here just sort of like flicks him in the chest, like literally blows the center of his chest out. That's the end of 152. 153, we have flashback, I guess. This is Goka talking to their mother, I believe. I don't think this
Sister.
is I think this is their mom. I don't think this is the sister who runs the stuff. I think it's different.
I'm almost positive it's a sister
Do you think
because
it's what's her name?
I think so, right?
I don't
Am I
think so.
wrong?
She's too calm, and
She is calm. You're right.
I
Maybe
think
it's not.
this is their mom.
Damn, she looks good for her age. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
I like the kind of first line here implying that Goka is envious of his little brother and
mm,
like his talents, and his mom slash sister, whoever this is like, hey, you have every one of us has good talents and you have to prioritize your own. Don't be jealous for your little brother. And I
yeah.
think what's more interesting is that Zanka has just a massive inferiority complex about himself and his skills, but his siblings already know what his aptitude is. It's just, as they say later, I'll hold off on that. But
Yeah.
no, it's just interesting how it's such a competitive family and they all have
Yeah.
inferiority complexes
I was
over
about
each
to say
other.
it definitely the inferiority complex thing kind of definitely runs in the family. But yeah, Zonka still needs polish, and he still don't know. I also like that they have like a southern draw accent is kind of how it's translated. Like, Zonka still needs
Yeah.
polish, and he still don't know how to protect himself. He's like, you are the sturdiest member of the Nijiku. No, of all the Hellguard, I want you to defend Zonka, defend his good qualities. By using each individual's good qualities as fuel, the Hellguard becomes a bigger flame to illuminate every corner of the ground. You mustn't use your qualities to fuel an inferior flame. One of the reasons I don't think this is the sister is that this is like very wise words from this woman. So that's why it seems like a more older, mature. I think this is their mom, but it could be a sister. I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's they look very similar,
They
and
do.
I
Yeah.
could see that the brother is sitting reverentially in front of both of them because the sister is the boss. So I don't know.
Yeah. Also, just every time we've seen the sister, whose name I'm also forgetting, there's a lot of names, a lot of characters in this volume. She's like intense and aggressive and like
Yeah,
short. She has a different haircut. She has that like kind of short hair
you're right.
bob. So
This is not the sister. I just looked her up. It
okay, yeah,
The sister has scarier eyes. So
yeah,
and a
yeah.
different haircut. Yeah.
I think this is the mom, but I haven't really met until that scene, but yeah. A good kind of voiceover here is like even if Zonka ends up leaving us one day, as one who came before, as one learning, as his brother, like never look away from him. God, and this is like one of my favorite parts of the whole volume is you think like, oh no, Zonka just got like his chest blown out, the light in his eyes is going out, you see it, and then it's just like, oh no, Zonka, and he's just like, bing, like boom, gets an attack in right through the mouth of Maimo here. It's like his
Uh,
good quality is his inexhaustible flame. Like literally, Zonka will never give up. It's
yeah,
so, and
dude
it's a
never
great
stays
spot.
down.
Yeah, and he literally does because it's like he's lost every fight. Like, he loses this fight, right? Like, he's lost every fight he's ever been in, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get a few good hits in.
Right.
Yeah. It's like it consumes his inept and naive past, and as his heart struggles to break free, it leads him to evolve. Vital instruments work on it. So let's clean him up. I love Zonka is great. I love
Yeah, Zanka's the
just,
best. I feel like he is. I don't know. You think he's like the most popular character in this?
ooh, I wonder if they did a character poll. I'm sure they have. I bet that he's above Rudo maybe in the character poll. I
I
bet
feel
it's
like it's like engine first, and then
I bet it's like I bet it's like Engine, Zonka, Rio, or something, or Rudo or something like that. It's very much
yeah,
the who's the dark-haired guy in Naruto that everyone knows is a better character than Naruto?
Sasuke.
Sasuke. It's a very much. I
Sasuke
think
is not a better character.
is he not? Okay, maybe I make that up.
I mean, he has his fans, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I see most people being like, "Oh, Sasuke's a way better character than
He's just edgy. He's just an edgy guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But for
great.
the audience, like an audience of teens, he might be the better character.
Yeah, for sure. I also, man, the art is always good. It's just always so good. We have to look at every page. Look at this. You think like, oh yeah, hands coming, and you're like, oh what? And then it's the twins. They're giant guys. They're like clap. It's like monster shake, and then they like toss them onto the ground. I think I didn't add that page, but yeah. And Zanka understands. He's like, why does it always have to be me? And Goka's just sort of like, you're pathetic.
Yeah. It's like a way to neg him while he's down, asshole. This family cannot communicate well.
This is very much reminiscent of the like stories and things I've heard about like families who were like put a lot of pressure on their kids to like be smart and successful and be a doctor or be a lawyer or whatever. It's just like oh, you're pathetic. It's like, so this is what becomes of the man who refused to live up to his elder sister's expectations. Like, your dependence on your vital instrument makes you vulnerable. Is your flame only good for heating lukewarm water for the cleaners? It's just like, all right, buddy.
What an unbelievable prick.
Yeah, but I like the Hellguard because like, due to the Giver's attacks, we now know that standard weapons will be ineffective. From here on out, the Hellguard will run support and assist the citizens in getting outside to safety. It's like, hi, sir. It's like, it went past me and shot at Zonka. Did it know that we're at odds with each other? Despicable monster. I like exactly what you pointed out, which is like, did it know that if it attacked Zonka, it would have, affect two people instead of just one?
And I think based on Mimo in general, yes, it did know.
Definitely, because I think Mimo's operating, and you see a little bit of this also before the end of the volume, but Mimo essentially has like all the knowledge that anyone's ever talked about, and same as Gauntess, right? Like, passed on to him. It's like the chokers he knows everything about, like, theoretically. I mean, you can go back and check. Okay, you don't see a choker in these scenes, but if there's a choker in this thing, then they've heard this conversation, right? So
Right.
Yeah, Rudo shows up, but it's like, I suppose you're worried about your friend, but it is not acceptable for a Nichiku to die from something as minor as this. It's like, dude got his entire chest blown out. But it's like, your pity is unnecessary. You keep your focus on putting holes in that thing. Rudo.
I actually like this line because I feel like he was kind of being defensive over his brother here.
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
the pity,
For sure,
pity remark.
It's much more of a sort of like, oh, I'm disappointed you got hit. You should be stronger. But
Yeah.
also like, good work. You proved that it. Yeah, it's one of those complex family things for Zonka and Goka here. Also, it's just a badass line to be like, your pity is unnecessary. You keep your focus on putting holes in that thing, Rudo Sherbrek.
Yeah, badass.
Yeah. So this is, man, this line, I could talk about this line for like 20 minutes. It's like, if vital instruments work on it, is it a trash beast? It's like, I think not. It's like, I kind of think it is the same. It's very similar to a trash beast in that I think it's like anima powering a body, right? Like, I'm assuming, based on kind of what I said earlier, right, that there's a human soul has anima. That anima goes into a vital instrument, which powers it. That's where the vital instruments get their power. And then when that vital instrument is discarded or the person dies and it's in trash, that makes a trash beast. So a trash beast has an anima soul, just like a human. So that's what, like, and that's what Mimo remade his body, but his soul is still anima powered, plus his, plus the power of the Watchmen series also affects the anima / soul. I don't know. I feel like the reason for this line is like, if a vital instrument works on it, is it a trash beast? It's like, ignore the I think not. They're wrong. It's like, this is making you think about like, a vital instrument works on a thing that is like a trash beast, and things that are like trash beasts are things that are powered by anima souls, and that's humans and trash beasts, and now Mimo in this sort of god form. So
Yeah, I think he's just a human. As we know, he's
yeah, we learned later.
remade his body, but he's just a human, and he can get the shit beaten out of him just like any human. Uh, so
Yeah.
I think it doesn't work like it is a trash beast because it's like a super effective damage against trash beast, I guess. But hey, you know, if you hit a human hard enough, then
True.
they're gonna get
But
fucked
he is
up.
immune to guns, so but that's a yeah. So we'll see.
But
It's
yeah,
creepy as hell, but it feels like pummeling a human. Yeah, see, this is more of it here, right? That's my hunch. It's like it's human. It's like how does his might turn someone into that? Also, this is so cool, man. If you don't notice, I didn't the first time I was reading this. When Zanka hits him, he like knocks
yeah,
the front of his mask off, the front bottom of his mask off, right where he would have a mouth. He didn't have a mouth,
and it
and
looks
then
like his teeth are flying out. It's cool.
yeah, but it was like shards of the mask originally, I think. But then here it's just
Yeah,
like, oh, you've cut a mouth, and he just like makes himself a mouth, and he's like, oh, I have a mouth now. Zanka, you gave it to me, thank you. Uh, it's like that sudden and violent attack activated my sympathetic nervous system, so I think I would like to counterattack. And that's the end of 153, and then 154. And this is what I mentioned at the start about there being lots of good character stuff in this volume. Is that we get stuff with Aisha here that's good here, and kind of towards the end, where it's like she's like super anxious. She's like, I'm a healer, but if I use my powers on regular people, it's like, here with electricity, you're trying to kill me. It's like Electro Girl, Bionic Woman. She's clearly like again made fun of as a child. It's like he's like I'm a monster. Luckily we have August here to be another one of the best characters in the series. I'm like, oh, Aishi, why is she? It's like I brought a guy who's injured beyond all reason, yo. I like that it's like censored here. And her
I
face is so funny. This is like a One Piece reaction face on the left. I like.
you know, this is normally I was like an August hater because I just thought he was too extra for me. I just annoying, but no, I don't know. He really worked for me this time.
Yeah, I definitely think it's there's more even at the end of this volume with him that I think is
He was
really
great. He was a great all volume. I like him
yeah.
now.
Yep. I also like that it's like we'll censor whatever happened to this guy's chest, but like 2 chapters ago we just had like elderly people's neck stumps out as far as gore, so that makes this like,
Yeah,
how bad is this? Um,
that's so
like,
true. I don't know where the line is anymore.
yeah. But like Aisha's like being unsure here is like, oh, but like people will see if I electrocute to heal. He's like, yo, we're at the Doll Fest. People come here just to see doll givers use their vital instruments. Everybody here thinks givers are a-okay. And again, this is stuff that I like with August. Just like, and if they complain about you anyway, your big brother has just got to go crazy again. That's all. Victory to the healers, Aishi babe. If there's anything you need, I'll get it for you. I need an extension cord that can withstand high current voltage. Like, yep. Where can I get one of those? Like, there's a whole bunch of them at the Dollfest tent. And here we get Wing, is this girl's name, I believe.
Yeah,
Who we imagine we suspect is the white. Is it the white crow, white raven?
yeah, white. Oh shit! I think it's white crow. I think it's white crow.
Yeah, white crow. Yeah, pretty sure she's the white crow. We don't get it confirmed or not in this volume, but yeah. And then we have Amo here. Again, the words are the real weapon of Mimo. He's like, your lack of experience, this is what leads to. Then you can experience discouragement, kind of when he told her off last volume. And then Engine also sort of has been tough on Amo of like, if it's too much for you, stand up. This is the smell of a big crowd's anxiety. She can sort of smell everyone being anxious. And Fu is here again. I always like Fu. He's like,
Yeah.
are you strong? It's like, yeah. It's like, when I have orders, yeah, he is. It's like, Amo is weak because Amo doesn't have experience. Huh? Yeah. But if Amo doesn't do something, she'll never get any more experience. Like, Amo's going to go back to Rudo. He's like, what? I think it's probably too dangerous back at the stage. I was given orders to get you somewhere safe. He's like, Amo wants you to protect her. You're strong when you have orders, right? He's like, you could have used some stronger wording. I was like, Amo wants to say, go help them, but she can't. So she won't be any help either. We have kind of a flashback of Amo being in love and stuff. It's like, but if she wants to stop lying to herself and stand on her own 2 feet without anyone's help, then now. And I like this panel a lot at the bottom here. This sort of just like, she's walking her and Fu's are like walking against everyone else in the crowd, but she's like, I don't know, she's like very determined, and it's very cool. Again, it's just
Yeah,
like, it's like 4 pages of Amo just like standing up and being like, I'm gonna go do something because that's what I need to do to grow. And yeah, and she walks by Goka carrying Zonka. Yeah, and I don't know. Again, it's just like no words on the page. A very good flowing page. She kind of walks through, and she's walking past the sort of violence that has been had against people she knows. Right? It's like she sees
it's a
Engine's
reality,
umbrella.
right? It's
Yeah,
because she's been living in like a kind of a dream world. Uh, well, before meeting all the gang, she had been living in kind of a dream world of her own creation. So
right.
it's good she feels her powerlessness and the reality of a situation now. I think that's what Engine was probably looking to instill. I think he wasn't trying to
Oh yeah,
talk
for sure.
shit, but kind of just give her perspective.
Yeah, it definitely is tough love from Engine in the past. I also like that this is like, it's a very simple sort of symbolism, if you want to call it that, of like the character taking the next steps forward, and like her taking steps forward here is like she's walking, against the crowd who's running away. She like walks past people she knows who are hurt in with Engine and Zonka, and she keeps walking, right? She keeps going into the thing, and then she sees, you know, like now all she can do is watch the tragedy as, Maimo's got as one of us got Rudo in his arms here. So I think it's just again, it's just like a couple of pages in the chapter, and it's Amo character growth, and I think it's great. And we get
Yeah,
that for like 4 or 5 characters in this. We get Goka and Zonka stuff, so yeah, great series. Great ending page, terrifying bad guy. 155, the source of power. It's like greater than I imagined. Words is all it took to make up for the weakness of my flesh. This is what I've always wanted. More than psychic powers or laser beams, all I've longed for is an invincible body. Um, it's an interesting man. I like Mimo. I think he's really interesting because he's clearly short king. Like he wears huge platform shoes and he's already not very tall. And he's just
okay,
he has like the negative short king energy of like, or like small man syndrome, whatever you want to call it, where it's like tiny little guy, weak body. His power has to do with sort of minds and control, and it's like all I've ever wanted is an invincible body to go along with what I think is my perfect smart brain. Um,
right.
I like that he just has Rudo in his hand. He's like, let me take it for a test drive, and he just like launches him down at the ground. And the twin giant guys end up catching him, but this is a little bit, I think, more of a combat chapter. One of Rudo's arms is broken here, and then Rudo has his awakened cloak, I believe, which he awakened last volume for fighting.
Yeah, the cloak August made him.
Yes, yeah, and so he ends up kind of shooting all the stuff with the cloak here. He's like, oh, is this fabric? I can't pull it off. It's like he gave his jacket fabric the power of cut and paste, and we get a cool like cut thing here. And it's like, oh, not a scratch. And then Maimo's it just blows him away. Do the thing. It's like, I'm sure you're dying to know the secret to my strength. The first is to make effective use of the Watchmen series, and the all important other secret is to know the source of a giver's power and to understand it. The quality of a giver's power is based on said giver's experience and ideology. The strength of those powers is dictated by the extent of their experience and the strength of their thoughts. So you're getting a very much sort of like lore dump for giver powers, which is that, the more someone uses their powers, the better they are. And there's also sort of it's not really power of friendship, but there's very much sort of like, if you think harder, you are stronger
Yeah,
built into this, which is, it doesn't quite come in this volume, but I'm sure will later.
and I think this part is like what he just said was kind of telling us what we know, kind of reestablishing
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
the more time you spend with a weapon, the more time you spend with yourself, the stronger you are. But then it's asking a different question:
Then
where
yeah, it
does
goes a
that
bit
come
farther.
from?
It's like, what about the source of a giver's power? Where does it really come from? An ordinary human being is not capable of ignoring the laws of nature and using such transcendental power. It's simply not possible. For example, the mass of those enormous scissors. Have you ever considered where that extra mass comes from? Humans do not naturally possess the ability to amplify the mass or functions of an object. That ability is a gift from ancient times. Indeed, uh, it's like, do you see? The people of the ground have been polluted by the energy of the ancient rulers, and you are no exception, Rudo Sherbrek. Your awakening as a giver happened immediately after you fell to the ground. The primary cause was the contact with the ancient ruler's energy. A human could never evolve without some external stimulus. They are mere parasites dependent on an outside power, and yet many scientists have disseminated the arrogant hypothesis that it's all due to human potential, which is why I must teach these foolish, ignorant humans a lesson, and to that end I have used myself as an avatar to bring about the return of an ancient ruler, or as called by its true name, a god, with a sick ass panel. Um, yeah, so that's, I mean, what do you think? Ancient rulers, power givers. How
It
do you
makes
feel?
it makes sense. In that we we don't know what the gods are, of course. In this world, but I think the closest being to a god is like the Watchmen series, and we know there's been a
Yeah,
line of Watchmen's and figures that have like watched over the like ground and sky. Uh, and you, I guess based on assuming Mimo is a reliable narrator here, uh, it's probably like their corpses power, like the magic in their corpses powering the trash beasts and whatnot. At least that's what I took away from what he was saying here.
yeah. I mean, there's like a little there's a little bit more obviously in that we get Rudo flashing back to being with Regto when he was younger, and he says like a god. He's like, and again we get to like Rudo has this is apparently one of these things that Mimo had to like hunt and search forever. It's like where like why do the Spherites know about the gods while the groundlings know nothing? It's like, do you have
Oh,
any idea
real
how much
quick,
time? Oh yeah,
Mimo's pissed here because Rudo said a god humans can't be gods.
yeah, yeah.
And this infuriates him. Because Mimo, well, I guess definitely wants to be a god, but also is pissed that Rudo has known something that he's been looking for. Like he
Right,
had
yeah,
to work
that's
really hard to find out. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I think he's more pissed. He's like, "Do you have any idea how much time and energy I devoted to researching the name God? Do you have any idea at the aggravation I felt at my inability to fill in the blanks on all those pages?" So remember some of the blank deleted pages we saw with the leader of the cleaners in the books showing that like the history has been deleted for a bunch of for stuff on the ground. This is making me feel like maybe right? Like there's no blank pages in these books from the sphere. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. But it means something. It means that the Spherites have more information and do not. Maybe it's immune to the power of the memory erasing Watchmen book, or I don't know. Maybe it's just something different. But it's clear that Rudo had heard about the gods while he was on the sphere from Regto and those books, and then all the books on the ground have had the word God deleted. Like that's, I think that's clear.
Weren't okay? It's been a while since I read chapter one, but weren't the Spherites very religious in
I don't.
terms of like they dumped Rudo for well what they claim to be like holy reasons.
Yeah, I think it was more like this like the sphere would be cursed if they held him there, and so they're throwing him off to get rid
Yeah.
of sort of like a what they think is a curse on the sphere. I don't remember if it was super religious. I don't remember the name of the because there were guards in chapter one, and I don't remember. I can
Yeah, I
go.
don't either. We can go back to that. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because the I'm just gonna click through it real quick. Yeah, I don't know if it was super religious, but it's definitely it's definitely something. I feel like the desire of all the people on the ground to know more about the sphere. It's like I also feel like we don't know much about the sphere. I mean, we have been there
Yeah. We've
for
been there
one
like
chapter
once, yeah.
and
And
seen a couple of kind of flashbacks there along the ways, but we just like it's very strange because it doesn't nothing on the sphere or from chapter one really fits in with any of the other lore we've learned on the ground, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure it does somehow, but we don't know what the connecting factor is or
right.
how they're connected. So,
Hmm.
it's
Anyway,
also interesting that yeah, Mimo has all the information from all the chokers everywhere, you know, for years, and he doesn't know this connection. So it's clearly very secret stuff. It's like I
but
must know. It's
I
like
think
God,
it's
God.
more so that nobody in the sphere had a choker. And
Yeah, yeah, true.
so you couldn't have known.
Yeah,
kind of a
and my
thing.
guess is that I mean, like maybe Tamsi doesn't have a choker, or because we know that Tamsi has been up to the sphere at some point relatively recently,
True. Yeah, we
or
don't
maybe
know.
they don't work, or
That guy is such a mystery. Who knows?
yeah. But Maimo gets so mad here that he crushes his own vital instrument. He destroys it, and that causes like he throws Rudo to the ground and causes this like massive explosion at the top of this weird mountain thing. Um,
Yeah, he cuts the stuff like the claws off the mountain that were kind of covering the little city. It's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, the like dome city type thing.
Yeah,
It's acting really weird. Did he lose control? It's like it's because he destroyed his microphone. Like normally when you destroy a vital instrument, its power dispels automatically. But he's taking power from the Watchman series to transform. When he crushed his mic, he ruined the power balance. Now the only power inside him is from the Watchman series. A calculating snake like Maimo would never destroy his own vital instrument. Maybe becoming a god affected his mind? And it's like, no. He wishes he could be a god, but he's just human. Maybe he found out everything he could about the gods so he could copy the gods, but he's still just a rotting piece of garbage.
and this is Rudo's perspective on humanity, not just Maimo. Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely affected by it. I mean, it's definitely sort of a, um, yeah, people, definitely the people of the sphere. I think I would say is kind of how he views this. That would be
yeah,
the tie, maybe.
I like this like bottom panel here where he's like clearly going down a dark line of thought, and then he regains his sanity, uh, again, and he's like, okay, it's just like you told me, Countess. He lost sight of his goals.
Mm. Well, and man, this is so interesting because I can't tell if this is like, so clearly Rudo here is like, hating on humanity, which again, we kind of know he has this darkness inside him that has the potential to like destroy everything or whatever that is. And his arm is like the scars on his arms like squirm during this darkness. And what are these scars, man? Where do they come from? And are they like part of his power? Is it something inside him? Like, I'm just so curious about like what this is all connected to, like that the darkness inside him that that Seimu saw, way back in like chapter 5 or whatever. It's like that is this that's happening right here, and I'm curious of what it is and when it'll come out.
It doesn't feel like it's him
I,
fully. Like,
yeah, I agree. It feels like there is a yeah. It definitely feels like there's like, oh, the Sherbrooke line has a demon or a god inside them, an ancient ruler or whatever, or something like that, right? Like maybe it's a leap, but it's
yeah,
something
well,
like that.
it's interesting because it's influenced by his Watchman instrument, and it was said earlier that people who are fulfilled, it does bad things, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think it probably informs this line of rhetoric, this negative skewing ideology that Udo has deep within. And I don't know if that's possession or something else, but yeah, I don't know. It's in him, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, it's nice that it's coming back. I mean, we've had it brought up a couple times, but um, it's like I'm gonna end Mimo. It's like we don't stand a chance. It's like Rudo. It's like both your arms are broken. He's like, I still have one use left of his 3R. It's like just keep weaponizing objects like before. I'll never beat him. He may not be a god, but he's still a new something that's on another level from Givers. So I'll combine Countess's Watchman series powers with my Watchman series powers and turn into the same thing as him. Um, yeah. So Rudo's he's gonna break bad. Um, so 157, we get Mildreda is like, oh man, this is way outside the cleaner's jurisdiction. It's like the reason for reliance. I really like this. I just really like Engine, but like he's got his parasol up. It's like, oh Mildreda, you're awake. It's like we're somewhere near the festival tent entrance. Like my attack knocked you out for about 10 minutes. It's like Engine kept us safe. And I had to show this panel to show that like, yeah, Engine did keep you safe. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
that's sick.
he created a tiny bastion of thing. Um, it's like if things go south, this whole city could be blown off the map. And again, you got like the cut off tops of the protective dome thing there. It's like turn to the same thing as Mimo. Impossible. He used a piece of the Watchmen series to enable himself to give an order directly to his soul. He turned into that as the result of combining my power with his, but your powers won't give you the same ability to do that. Besides, do you really want to become that kind of monster? If Maimo's ultimate goal was to become a god, he wouldn't have bothered finding a way to change back. It's like, you may never be human again. This is Countess giving sort of a warning to Rudo. Um, I think it'll work the same when you switch from vital instrument into weapon mode. You'll just disappear at the end. Blah blah blah. Um, it's like the power to give an object power and change it. Every giver can do it. I can do it too. And now, while your power is opening the pathway to my soul, I think I can use my power on myself. It's like, Rudo, if you do that when your power runs out, you'll disappear. Rudo's getting real sad. It's like, this one's a lost cause, Rudo. Sorry, go ahead.
This part's fine. I feel like it's more so just pages to give justification for a power up.
Yeah. Well, and there's a little bit of a twist. It's also, again, it's a good way to like raise the stakes of like, okay, like main character has to power up. Is he going to do it by sacrificing, by sacrificing a lot, or how's it going to happen? I also like that Rudo looks at Rio here and is just like, if I start wrecking everything in sight like Maimo, like kill me. She's like, what?
Yeah.
And then Gavdas is like, you can't do it. It's my fault. All of this, I should take the responsibility. Rudo, it's like, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not going to my death. It's like, he got here by trampling on things that people care about, and he's going to keep doing it. I'm going to kick that turd face's ass. That's all. So another cool parallel, I mentioned that sort of like when Maimo awakened, there's like a flash of white light and he makes himself into this like angel-like thing. And when Rudo awakens here, there's like dark
edgy
magic.
Teenage boy energy. Yeah. Yes.
Well, and like a clear like black magic being presented. It's like, I forced my revenge onto him. It's like, I never meant for him to risk his life, so why? This pure canid, but also mysterious. Oh, candid. It's a canid. Well, that's spoilers, but mysterious and inscrutable boy. Why can't I let go of the idea of relying to him? It's not his strength or his sense of justice. It's that quality that permeates his entire being, his determination to stay true to his rage. And we get awakened Wolf Rudo.
Yeah, it reminds me of kind of like a Soulsborne enemy in a way, because it has like a scorpion tail. It's awesome.
And it's like, oh, his arms are too long, and his neck and back are weird, and
yeah,
it has strange proportions. It also looks sick as fuck. Like the designs.
It looks cool.
So cool. Yeah. But yeah, I also like that Gauntus is describing like what makes Rudo a unique and a good character, just like generally. It's like, it's not his strength or his sense of justice. It's that quality that permeates his entire being his determination to stay true to his rage. Which I think is just like,
it's his bloodlust.
I mean, kind of, yeah. It's interesting because Rudo, even though he does clearly like care for people and do caring things, like he kind of comes back to like calling people a turd face and being angry and mad at them and like being mad at them for being bad, and like he's mad at people for not being good people. Like, and he's his rage. So I think that's cool and very consistent with Rudo's character.
Yeah, for sure.
This is sick. So yeah, he get badass Wolf Rudo. I should have put these together. Oh well. I love the title of this chapter, like The Kind and Gentle Avenger.
Yeah, that is sick.
I was like, Rudo, I really can't support this idea. I don't remember I was telling you the details, Gauntus. This is like a minor flashback of before the awakening, where Gauntus kind of tells Rudo like using the same old methods won't work. Like, but he's broken both his arms. Blah blah blah. It's like, again, this is like good Gauntus. I mean, the whole kind of volume is basically about Gauntus. He's on the cover of this volume. So it's like, when did I get so used to letting other people solve my problems? It's not just Maimo. He's not the only one tying me down. The guy using this captivity as an excuse to give up on believing himself, it's me. It's true that I can't go to confront him in person, but I've heard so much information, value systems, possibilities. I've stored it all in my mind. And he's like, Rudo, listen to me. It's time I pass it on to you. I have a plan. And basically we get to like, oh, Rudo didn't actually do the same thing Maimo did. He's like, you took an object and a person and fused them together. Everybody loves to see a transformation item. I like that you go back and you see Gauntus.
Like a Sentai.
Yeah, you see Gauntus and Lily like watching a Super Sentai thing. It's also just like, yeah, like a transformation. So he's like inspired by the things he grew up with and also Lily, which is like, I don't know. It's a nice tie together of like Gauntus solved a problem by being inspired by both his childhood, which we've seen only as like mostly abusive, and also from Lily, the girl he's in love with, and it's a transformation. That's what we have to do.
Yeah,
a transformation item, which I think is sick. It's also just like a cool little twist of like, oh, like Rudo picked a bad thing and he changed his body, and it's like, nope, only for a couple pages, and you're like, it's a transformation item. I think that's cool.
And I like the contrast between the angel transformation and what they say about that later.
Mm-hmm.
You powered up without taking any risks. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's like using powers only you have. You preserve the humanity of Rudo Surprick. Unlike what I did, that way, even when you turn off the powers, it will only be the hat that falls apart. You powered up Rudo himself without taking any risks, and you think that will be enough to beat me after I put in the effort to make myself what I am now? The hell you can. The sheer volume of hard work and evil deeds that I built up to become a god and make myself #1 in the world, a little upstart kid could never be a match for that. It's like, so you transformed, anyone can do that. We were equally polluted by the god's power. There's nothing special about that. It's like, even with assurance it'll be okay, there's no one alive who wasn't afraid of the idea of changing their shape into something else. I like this as a little like...
Yep, otherwise he would have done it earlier.
Right, well, and there's also like a little sort of like theme, like nugget of truth of like everybody's afraid of change, but going and changing yourself to be better, to, meet the moment is always a positive thing. So that's why even you yourself waited until the very end to turn into that. It's like Maimo, it's like, if you thought that it was easy to change, then you would have just done it originally and done it.
Yep.
We couldn't have accomplished this without Rudo's resolve. You don't know why he could open the door to his heart and form a connection with the soul. This is like Rudo, I think, is explaining Countess's like true power. It's like he's not giving anyone orders. He's giving them heartfelt words that come from a place of caring. It was always a kind and gentle power, which again, the title of the chapter is A Kind and Gentle Avenger. Words that come from a place of caring, those could never give anyone any power. The bad guy refuses to accept the power of friendship. If you still don't give it, I'll prove it. Countess gave me more than just an idea. If anyone can beat Maimo, you can. And there's like this nice, connection to the choker thing. And then Rudo fucking blast off, bites through the side of his face, which is awesome.
And half of his hair.
Yeah, the ring.
His halo, yeah.
Yeah. Like Countess's heartfelt words are transformed into energy and sent to the addressee's soul. It's not just a metaphor or a placebo. It's something that really happens. It's the truth. It looks like Maimo's ability to control people with words, but it's not the same. It's the ability to give someone power with caring words. It's literally, we are getting lore dump on power of friendship type stuff here, which is fine because it makes sense.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah. And I'm curious as if that would, like, because this is a Watchmen item, and so far they've all been like cursed objects. I'm curious if that was the intent, or if, well, I guess it was. It's Countess that awoken his own weapon, his own kind of giver object. It wasn't the Watchmen series object, right? That is driving all of this. I guess it is. I don't know.
It's kind of both. So I think that all of the Watchmen series, they kind of have like, they are just an unlimited well of power, because Amo's was the same, right? When they first fight Amo, she like uses it to mind control people, and then later on it's just like, oh, you can heal people with it because you can do good and bad things with them. It's kind of like it's the same kind of thing here, right?
Yeah, it's up to the owner of the object. That makes sense.
It's like I think he used the Watchmen series to like, oh, listen to everyone and like consume all this thing and sort of, peep in on them, whatever you want to say. But then also he can use it to like deliver words into their soul, which power them up by like telling them what they need to hear and being, kind and good or whatever.
Got it.
That's the way I'm and I think that they all work in both of those ways. We haven't seen Rudo's work that way yet, of like, he can transform 3 objects into things of power. We don't know if there's like if that's like the good version of it, or if there's like a bad. I'm guessing that we'll maybe get like a bad, quote unquote, version of that power at some point.
I'm sure.
But yeah, so Countess's power, the power that even he didn't know, has now been proven because he is powered up. So 159 here. I something here that I really appreciate about these last 2 chapters is that stuff has been really serious, and we got kind of this hyper serious like God versus, powered up Rudo. Will Rudo betray? No, he didn't. Power of friendship. It's all really serious. I love that the tension is broken here with like a little bit of a comedic side story with Wing and August. Yeah.
At first I was like annoyed, as I sometimes get with August. I'm like, come on, man, I was right in it. Why are we doing August stuff? Then I kind of got really invested in the August stuff. Dude, he just worked for me.
Yeah. It's also cool that they keep throwing characters we've already met kind of into their storyline. It's awesome, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate this because it's like there's tension and tension and tension building, and it's like it could just keep getting more tense in the fight, and it could keep going. But we'll kind of and we'll get to this more in next volume, I think. But the sort of there's a little bit of a release of tension here before the fight continues because the fight is gonna keep going. So, but yeah, they're climbing, they're looking for extension cords. It's like what happened to all the other not you Dolphest staff? I haven't seen one in a minute. It's like I imagine they're still backstage. I haven't seen them either. I think Wing is the only Dolphest worker, or like the only. I don't know where anyone else is.
I don't think she, like, she's up to something because she's unrattled and unfazed by all of the carnage.
Yeah,
And like the next page, August's like, I think they're dead. And she's like, no, they're just unconscious. It's fine.
yeah,
Like this tends to happen kind of kind of as explanation over there.
yeah. It's but I guess these are the other Dolphest staffers. They're all sort of back here, but
Yeah.
also, man, like talk about visual storytelling. Like we get the sort of half broken choker, and it's just right into the like half broken horn.
Yeah, that's
thing.
great.
It's great. It's such a simple like scene transition. Like it's good. It's just good visual storytelling. It's like I'm invincible, but you have the power to damage me. And then God, it's scary shit. It's like I want a part of the Watchmen series, and I like this because he's looking directly at the like camera, quote unquote, like right at the front of the page, and then it's actually he's looking at Amo down there, and Amo's looking up, and she's like, "Oh shit, I should not have come. If you're not using it, then give it to me." And then again, another like excellently framed panel page here of just the like looking up at Mimo descending on Amo. It's great. Luckily, Rudo is there, and also
It is
the return of he.
Boo. Oh, right.
He is the strong, quote unquote, strong.
The
one.
strong version.
So yeah, it's like I have my orders. I'm going to put my heart and soul into protecting her, which I think is cool because we haven't seen this guy in like 100 chapters or something.
Yeah, like the last time we saw him, he was fucking up Jabber, right?
Yeah, it was when they fought in the car fight. I think is the last time.
On the roof of the car. That's right.
Yeah, which was like, I mean, literally, that was maybe not 100 chapters. That was like 50 chapters ago. But yeah, it's been a while, and I like the Fuhi. This is it. This is the only page we get that is gone. But it's nice that he's there. Then we get sort of a big we get a larger scale fight of Rudo and Mimo kind of knocking everything out here. And we get Rudo ripping Mimo's arm off, which is intense. Again, there's lots of gore in this volume, I realize now.
Yeah.
Like literally ripping his arm and like stretching flesh and bones and stuff. It's like, so that Rudo, are you sure he's human? It's like, why? Because he's wiping the floor with that monster. Yeah, I mean, we fight trash beasts, and I still wouldn't want to get caught in their crossfire. Any human that isn't us would be dead before. It's like, wait. It's like Felix and Gil are gone. Those are the two. Yeah, Felix and Gil.
Right. Oh, that's right. The two jobbers.
Yeah, the two helpers from Mimo. He's like, let's just go. I don't think we're gonna get paid for this. And the staff all passed out for some reason. And Felix here is like, have you forgotten that Lord Mimo prepared some insurance? Like in the event that Lord Mimo begins losing the battle, it's our duty to destroy the venue. And so they set a bunch of bombs. And he's like, we'll fulfill our duty. We will blow up all the bombs. It's like, the staff, they're totally dead. It's like, they're just unconscious, love. Look, the only thing that's been cut off is their chokers. Yeah, that human touch is what scares me the most. It looks like whoever did it escaped to the electrical room. This is my favorite line of the joke. Is like, you've just admitted they've been done. It's like, let's catch the cookies. I thought we were looking for an extension cord. This is my favorite line. It's like, you actually turned me into the straight man. You are hella scary. It's just like, this girl is so wild that I'm the most off the wall goofy guy, and I'm the sane one in this situation.
Yeah, you just walk in a room full of unconscious people. She's like, whatever, this is just normal.
It's like, it's fine. And I noticed everything. It's like, oh, I think I heard a sound. And it's like, again, you go into like a hyper detailed thing. You see Gil and Felix knocked out. And who is it at the end? It's, Monsieur, our daily hire. I don't know. It's just cool that it's linking up a lot of stuff that got set into motion at the very start of the arc here.
Yeah, I don't know what Kyo's deal is. Outside of being Zanka's rival and implying that she's kind of like unable to feel normal emotions.
Yeah, she's the stereotypical sort of like no feel. She's like the Ray from Eva, right? Like doesn't feel like no emotions girl type archetype. I
She
guess.
seems different from. I know we've only seen her very sparingly, but she seems different than a Ray type of I feel nothing. It's
Yeah,
like I feel nothing, but I desperately want to feel something kind of character. So she's like, I don't know, a bit more dangerous than a Ray who just follows orders.
yeah. It's a little different. She's more of a. I think she's more of a. I keep control of all my emotions because if I feel them, they get in the way of the job. Kind of maybe that. Kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah, maybe that's why she's
yeah,
so good.
yeah. But
But it
it's
was nice seeing her. She was fun.
yeah, and this kind of this ties up basically every storyline from the start of the Doll Festival except for Bundus. We know that Bundus is here somewhere, and he has not appeared yet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because
I forgot.
no, I mean that was also legitimately like 50 or 60 chapters ago, so it's been a while. But remember, he was given a little the Sherbreck like doll figure and said go to the Doll
Yeah,
Festival.
that was his payment for the Trash Beast stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that he was maybe also sent after the White Crow. I don't, or maybe it was just some Sherbreck thing he's chasing down. But yeah, he's here somewhere doing something, and we have not seen him yet. But I like. So here we go. Last chapter, 160. It's like, you're a lifesaver, love. It's like, if you hadn't been here, Monsieur, the staff puppets would have reduced us to a bloody pulp by now. It's like, by the way, what are they doing on the floor? It's like, oh, it's like they were going to blow it up. I heard them plotting an explosion, so I neutralized them. I love the change
Hanna
of art
Barbera
style.
ass face. Yeah.
With like the shading and dots. It's like an explosion. Apparently there were bombs set throughout to detonate when the electro room was destroyed. So we have to find those bombs right away. He's like, I've handled it.
And
Whoever
yeah,
else
it's just
stuck
like
around over-
I've done everything that needs to be done already. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Side part.
I also think, okay, so I mean, assuming, I don't know how sure you are. I'm like 98% sure that Wing is the white crow here. And
For
so
sure, for sure.
I definitely think that there's going to be more with Hyo and the White Crow because there's definitely like she is a badass. Like I knew I picked the right person. I don't think this just means I picked the right person to like hire to work the Doll Festival. I think that Wing is like getting involved with Hyo in a way that will continue after this, right? Like I think that Hyo and Wing will be like a thing. Like some I don't know.
For sure.
There'll be some kind of team, or it'll be Hyo defends Wing for some reason or whatever. But I feel like this is like she's picking her to be more than just like a hire for the Doll Festival. There's more to it after this.
Wing is definitely some mastermind above the mastermind kind of character.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Mimo is the mastermind, sure, but Wing has been kind of coordinating all of the events in a way. Like she's the one who kind of got Rudo to meet Lily in the first place with the lottery drawings.
Yes, well,
the very
and the
beginning.
and the ticket draw that Rudo won to go up on stage, like she is.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
It's
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, it's definitely. She is a puppet master in some way.
For sure.
Of all of
We
this.
just have no idea what her deal is or what she wants really. But
I also
yeah.
I don't know, she has a fun personality too. It's like whoever hired you for security really knew what they were doing. It's like it was you, Miss Wing. Oh, you're right. Hello? Oops, I forgot.
But I do like seeing that sinister face where she was like, I was right to pick you.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like there's clearly like there's something else going on here of like Wing talking about Hyo as like the right choice is not just like, oh, the right choice to hire for the Doll Festival. It's like there was some choice here that Wing made that's gonna like again like continue like Hyo's gonna be your protector or so there's some kind of messenger or something. I don't know.
You know, it's interesting. We've been saying she's the White Crow since the start, but her name is Wing. I don't know if we brought this up before. Her name is Wing, so I think that's like one of the bigger hints. Anyway.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's there's hints everywhere. It does not feel like it's a super hidden thing. I think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So. I think it's a little bit of a misdirection to be like.
It is a misdirect.
Oh, well,
but
it's two Lily.
It's one of those that's right in your face.
Yeah, once you kind of know two Lily's backstory, you're like, it's probably the person whose backstory we don't know. That's the like super knowledgeable whatever person. So.
But it's like a hell of a misdirect because it could be seen either way. Because Lily was saved by like a crow, in her backstory.
Yeah, she has the white crows like surrounding her in the I also really like this part. I don't know why it's like we came here.
Yeah, shoot your shot, bro. I appreciate that.
You are smoking hot. It's like wow, I love Wing in the back here. He's like bone structure, posture, bearing, vibes. Like you are perfect in every way. It's like, will you be my model? It's like, oh, good. I thought you were hitting on her. Preferably a live-in model. No, you're skipping too many steps, love. Location, and she's interested. Uh, it's just I don't know. This is like a three-person. It's like girl with no emotion, guy who's actually in the middle of insanity between the three of them, and then like a crazy girl. I don't know. This is like I love this decompression here. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's like the cleaners. I was like, anywho, I have to finish helping my sister today, so let's just swap blood for our truckers. Oh, we can't use our truckers, love. It's like, let's ask Monsieur to join us while we help your sister. After all, there's no telling what could happen on the way. She'll be our bodyguard. Like, great idea. Let's do it. Come on, let's go. I'll show you where to keep the extension cords. That's what I've been wanting all along. Nice, like the cleaners. Flashback to Aishia looking at them, and then back to the fight again. An excellent. This is here's Mimo's hand just flying away after Rudo rips it off. I also this is a great page. I'm a sucker for when debris or character is like on going over the edge of the panel to give like a 3D effect. And
yeah, that is sick.
It's so simple, but it's just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like you're using the whole page.
Same with the arm, like
yeah, the arm going over and the stuff. Yeah, like between the panels. Yeah, it's just a nice cool 3D effect. I also really like this part.
I love this part. Yeah, this is like my favorite kind of Mimo moment. In that he's fucking losing, and he is reconciling. It's like, okay, let's go into our mind palace and organize our thoughts in here. And he's like, okay, you're getting your ass beat right now, and it's like a classroom where the angel deity that he turned into is like in the student's desk.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you think? What do you think it is that gives Rudo that appearance? Like perhaps it's similar to Zodal or the Raider Guida, the cleaner. It's like no, it's not. It's like those who only wear their vital instruments. Rudo has changed the structure of his very body, but his form doesn't work the same way as what I've done. Why? Because my form is only possible using the power of my rule. Basically, he's given power only to his hood, and is using that hood as a transformation item. Then how do we explain his strength? If we don't find a way past it, he'll destroy us. Transformation is such an abstract phenomenon, it is impossible to measure its power with speculation alone. Yeah. It's like, I like that the god version of Mimo is like, no, I don't want to lose. I want to reach greater heights than anyone. It's like, whoop, let's calm down. It's like, I will climb to the top of the world. It's like, when I'm a god, I will be on the top. I'll be number one. It's like, but if we can scale the wall Rudo's placed in front of us, the rest of the path will be easy. Like, you really think so? It's like, yes, because I know some, what does he say? I know something, you know that. I know where to find the rest of the Watchmen series. So, like, again, a reveal that, I mean,
of course he knows.
Yeah, of course he does. Because he probably knows. I mean, how many? I guess we don't really know how many more pieces of the Watchmen series there are. We know that he knows where Zodal is. We know that he probably knows about the book that Tamsi has.
Yep.
And then there's more potentially somewhere.
He knows the boots. He knows Rudo's arms. He has
the necklace, his
Countess's. Yeah. Has there been more than that revealed?
No, I think the one that isn't like current, the two that aren't like currently involved in this arc or like present are Zodal's jacket and the book. I think that because then it's the Ammo's boots, Rudo's gloves, the necklace, and then jacket and book. That's all of them, I think, that we know about, right?
Was the chest that they got from the lake creature, was that a piece or
no? That was a letter or whatever from an old Sherbrooke, right? Something like that.
Yeah, or an old Sherbrooke. Okay, never mind.
Because it's
so just those, I think.
Gloves, boots, coat, book, necklace. Yeah, those are the only ones we know about right now. So, so basically I liked it. I like how squiggly also like regular Mimo is drawn here. It's like sort of like fading. It's like intentionally drawn like really poorly every time.
Yeah, this is, and I think this is like an interesting scene. One, I like that the villain is losing and has to think his way out of a situation. Yeah. You usually see the good guys have to do that, because and the human part of him is the one kind of winning the fight, or who has the only shot to win the fight. The part that he discarded, uh,
Hmm.
for the god part. But yeah, so the human part of him is doing the last piece of the puzzle, which is like resetting his goals and being like, okay, hey, listen, one step at a time. You're losing sight of your goals, like Gauntis said at the very beginning. Here's what we need to do. And the god part of him is just speaking out of ego, right? It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I want to be number one, like having a baby rage little tantrum in class.
yeah. Well, and it's interesting, and I think it makes Mimo like I gotta say, like I do think so far Mimo is the best adversary we've gotten, especially after this volume, because like he said earlier about himself. He's like, the one thing I wanted was an invincible body. You know, 'cause he's sort of a mind bad guy with like, oh, mind control and thinking stuff, and he has a bunch of information, right? He seems more like a Riddler type bad guy, where he's like, I'll outthink the good guys. But imagine, like how dangerous is the Riddler if it had Bane's, like Bane plus Riddler, right? That's kind of what he's created here. But I do like that that Mimo sort of like was going to use his mind and control, and then when everything didn't go his way, he's like, all right, I give it up, give me a strong body, and I'll mess these guys up by fighting them. And then Mimo has just kind of been physically fighting a bunch of people, and then I like here that there's a reset of like, wait a minute, like I'm a thinking person. It's like, when he goes through here, it's like, we'll kill Rudo and collect the Watchmen series. Like, maybe the Watchmen series can make me into a real god. To kill Rudo, we must give ourselves an opening, and to make an opening, we'll use my specialty. Which, again, he's falling back to sort of the mental, it's like words are his specialty. And then we get Rudo kind of standing triumphant over Mimo, and Mimo says, shall I tell you who killed Recto? And see. And that is the end of the volume. So what a place to stop.
Yeah. It's interesting. I Mimo is both a good antagonist, but also like we get a lot of his pathetic sides.
Mm.
So
Oh, yeah.
it often seems like he's barely scraping by, um, and getting lucky a few times here and there. So he's not like Zodal, where his aura is kind of just like, how will our heroes overcome this? It's kind of like, okay, our heroes are going to overcome this, and then Mimo kind of weasels his way out of the situation and figures it out. And it's like, I guess it's like a scrappy. He's both scrappy and pathetic at the same time, and it's both satisfying and also like,
Interesting.
yeah, but it's he feels like, I guess, like more of an existential, like he's gonna fuck up everyone's mental after this kind of threat than he's gonna kick everyone's ass kind of a threat.
Yeah. Well, and like I think that's why I like him, is that he started out as sort of like a, I'm going to mind control. My threat is to the innocent people. My threat is to, being able to know things. And then he sort of, in this volume towards the start, he gets bested at that, right? Like they shoot his vital instrument out of his hand. He like loses. And the reason he loses is because his physical form is not as, he didn't notice that there were people sneaking up, or he didn't notice the guns, or he can't, take a bullet. And so he kind of, I like that you're right that he's very willing to give up sort of anything to win in a scrappy sense, which again I think just makes him an interesting character, because he loses aura because he's just like, fuck it, I'll do anything, like I'll give up my humanity, make me into a god, and he does, and then he does kind of physically fight, and then he has to go back here and be like, that now I have to readdress and go back to my old ways and figure it out. I just think he's super interesting in the way that it's like, yeah, he's not all aura and not all aura and a hard physical fight. It's like he's hard physical fight. He was a hard mental thing earlier. He was a protect the innocents. There's just lots of layers to like beating Mimo, and we still haven't beaten him, and he's falling back on sort of like, I know things and I'm going to use it to manipulate people. So
Right. I appreciate that his angelic form gets like less angelic by the minute.
yeah,
It like actively devolves as his soul degenerates. I don't think that's why it's devolving. They're just beating the shit out of him, but
yeah,
his soul is degenerating, and it's kind of a nice parallel.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I like that final vestige of Maimo kind of resetting his expectations at the end, or his goals at the end. Uh, I think him breaking his own mic was probably the worst decision.
Yeah. I mean, I think it clearly shows that. I mean, Maimo is going to lose this. I mean, you assume, right? Maimo's going to lose this fight because his ego is going to get in the way. He gave up the strength that he had for this physical strength, which then betrayed him and broke his vital instrument, which then lost him the thing. Right? It's why almost every bad guy loses is that they have an ego and they underestimate the good guys and they overestimate their own power. And it's a classic, it's a classic tale. And I think it's the same thing for Maimo here, that he underestimated what was needed to beat it. And yeah, so I don't know, it's classic and it's good. I think he's a super interesting bad guy. I think the fact that we've been fighting him for like 2.5 volumes now, basically, in lots of different ways and lots of interesting things, I think he's great.
Yeah, he is interesting. Uh, he's very different than Zodal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, and I can very much appreciate that. He used to be a newscaster. Did you know?
Yeah, we first saw him in like chapter 30 or whatever when he was just on screen. Yeah, it's interesting. I have to go back maybe and listen, or people can leave comments about it. But 2 or 3 volumes ago when Maimo was revealed to kind of be the bad guy, you especially, because I had maybe read ahead a bit, but we're much more sort of like, really, like, it's this guy, we saw him back there, like he's the bad guy, we don't really know anything about him. I think one thing that the Doll Festival arc has done really well is to, when Maimo was first revealed as, oh, this is the bad guy, you're like, oh, really? That's weird. I don't know anything about him. Why is he the bad guy? I think like developing Maimo along the way as the battle progresses, it has been excellent. Like, to more about him now, and especially in this little last.
He's more interesting now. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think at the time it was just like a very much like, oh yeah, Doug, your local meteorologist, is evil. It's like that's how it felt. Like
Yeah.
It's like, not Doug, he's just a guy. He's my local meteorologist. He tells me if it's going to be rainy tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It was kind of funny.
Well,
and Maimo still
Oh,
cracks me up even when he's decapitating people, because he looks like Helga Pataki and he acts very petty.
yeah, he's super petty. So something yeah, he's just like a little shitty guy. Like, he's not.
He's a worm, that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
think he works. And I think it makes him both an incredibly interesting and satisfying villain in his own right, but also unsatisfying in a shonen sense, because it's
yeah.
not like, yeah, it's not power scaling. But then again, Gachiakuta has never been about power scaling,
No, it
because
hasn't.
I think like this chapter especially, like I felt like a lot of the power and fights, I it didn't it was just, it worked in service to the writing.
Yeah,
And because like the fight was just like Rudo puts on a hat and they merge the hat with him for a temporary one-time power up. It's like that the mechanics of that would be interesting in a series like Hunter x Hunter, but here they kind of just serve to get to the themes of the plot, and I like that too.
yeah.
It's just different.
Oh, and something a tool that's being used here that we see used a lot, usually for the good guys, is that, and this, I mentioned this a couple times, but like sort of the push and pull of this whole battle the whole time is that when in a normal shonen battle, the way it works is the good guy and the bad guy show up, the bad guy starts winning, and then the good guy has to figure out how to win from behind, right? That's kind of that's every shonen battle ever is, with the exception of probably a couple things where the good guy just shows up and wins. Like, it's almost always that the good guy gets put on the back foot, and then they have to have a power up, or they change something, or teammates show up, or whatever. They get put on the back foot, and they have to figure out how to win from there. And what I like about this whole battle so far is that it ends again with Rudo being put on the back foot and the bad guy coming up. But before this, it was Rudo was losing and he's on the back foot, and then there's a transformation, and then now Maimo's on the back foot, and before that it was uh it was you know um it was Maimo being shot, and you thought, oh, Maimo's about to win because he's giving this command out, and then he's put on the back foot by getting shot, and then he powers up, and there's all of these exchanges of who's winning the fight, and that makes it so much more interesting than like a single, the bad guy is winning, he's stronger, the good guy powers up, and it's over. That's what like every shonen fight ever is. Yeah, and this is so much more interesting because of the dynamic push and pull between like, Maimo was winning. Oh, nope, there was a power, like, Maimo was winning. Nope, he got shot. And then, okay, now Rudo was winning because he gets transformed. It's like, nope. And this is another, I like that it ends with another sort of transfer of who's on top here with these, like, words of manipulation to Rudo, which are like, shall I tell you who killed Recto? And I just, like, it's one of the best. It's super long, which also helps, right? We're going on, like, 20, almost 30 chapters, kind of this fight basically taking place. So it helps that it's a really long fight, but that's one of the reasons I really like Maimo is that like this whole fight is so good and that it's this back and forth like now they're on top, and how is each person going to come out and change the dynamic of who's going to win the fight, and it makes it exciting to be like maybe Maimo does win, maybe Rudo win, like I don't know, it's one of the best, and all of the stuff that's going on around it with like the characters being developed alongside the huge threat and the backstories and all of this stuff, like it's just great. Like this is one of my favorite volumes, I think, of the whole series.
What I hope comes back around in like future volumes is that conversation that the Hellguards had, where the mom was saying is like, hey, don't be jealous of your brother's aptitudes and strengths. You have your own. Mm-hmm. We all have our own. And Maimo essentially discarded his humanity for the power, and it's still there in like fragments, like it's we fading. Saw in but it's fading, right?
So it's drawing shittier. Like clearly the stronger one is the more clearly defined character between these two here.
For sure. Yeah, it's like the last vestige of himself, and I'm hoping that comes around to biting him in the ass for like, because the parts of the fight where he's winning are the ones where he's playing to his own strengths. And that's how he's been squirrely and been winning this whole time. So him giving it all up for the transformation, I think that is just a recipe for disaster right after he loses his brain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it plays back into what I was saying about like it's the ego of him to give up the thing that would have won it for him, which is just relying on his intellect for the power of the body. And I think that will inevitably end up his ego in general, and all of the overconfidence in his body kind of got him hurt when he didn't think that Rudo would hurt him, and then Rudo can. So yeah, it's all ego, it's all overconfidence in the bad guy, which is classic. Cool. That's volume 17. No, 18. Volume 18. Yeah, another banger one. I'm having a hard time remember just because it's been a while since we recorded, but this might be my favorite volume ever. How do you feel about this one, kind of in the rankings overall? Upper half, middle, lower half?
I thought it was the best volume of the Doll Festival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think in terms of, and it had some solid themes too. I think she's always great at that, but I think as far as ranking with the others, I did think a few things were a bit more fun, like the information broker car fight. I like the action set pieces a lot. This was like Fu versus Jobber. They were all on the roof of the car duking it out. I think I might have liked a few volumes a bit more just because I had more fun. But I think there is a lot of interesting lore stuff and a decent, like, I think the pacing was great. The flashback was effective, and there was a lot of action on top of the exposition. So it kind of had everything.
Yeah, I think that's why I think it had everything is kind of why I like this so much. It's like it had cool action, it had good stuff, it had a neat flashback that was emotional, it had lots of character thing. I like wrote down like here's all of the characters that got like some kind of character progression or change. It's like we got Gaunta's stuff, we have Tu Lily, Amo moves forward, like Aisha has a thing. We got no more Hyo stuff. We have Zonka and his brother and mother. Rudo does stuff.
You're right.
Get stuff even with
Wing.
With Wing, with Mildreda, and with Engine, like protecting and all that stuff. Like every character like does something, and it isn't just like they did something. It's like they did something that is like in character or progresses their character or changes the status quo for them. And it's just that's the shit that I love, man. Is like people developing and changing,
Yeah,
and it's great.
and it's cool that you can kind of be in the moment while still developing character. Like Amo,
Yes, that's
like seeing the reality of the situation around her. Well, it also like it speaks to Amo's character arc. Uh, it also kind of represents like how the fight is going, the
exactly,
carnage,
yeah.
right?
It doesn't. It's just excellent writing in the sense that it's like they can take a whole break to do like Zonka and or to do Aisha and Amo for like a whole chapter. That's a whole chapter. But it ends with like bringing us back into the momentum of the fight and the status of the fight. And it's the same thing when we go to follow like August and Wing. It's like, oh, haha, comedy break. But also it doesn't, it kind of slows the, main thread, but then it brings it back at the end. It just like, it's such tight writing to be able to not kill momentum, to keep momentum and do the other scenes at the same time. And it doesn't, I mean, part of that is that we're reading in one go and not necessarily week to week, because week to week it
Hmm.
maybe feels a little differently. But it's even then, it's like I just think it's such excellent and tight writing to be able to do all of those things in a volume and still keep the sort of tense one-on-one action duel fighting that's happening in the background and keep that as the main set piece, and also do all this other character stuff and
And all
have
the
all
art
these
stuff on top of this. Yeah,
yeah and all
it's
the
just massive talent.
yeah, and all the release of tension and the and rebuilding it and the swapping of who's on top in the fight, and I don't know, it's just great, it's just amazing, it's a this is an all timer series so far. So
I agree. It was a really good volume. I love Gachiakta.
yeah,
I know it's been a bit, uh, but I'm glad we do this. This is like one of I've always I think the book club stuff is the most fun because we get to uh, read good series.
yeah,
That's which is rare
because
for
we get
us.
we get to read Gachiakuta, which is an amazing
Yeah,
series. Cool.
exactly.
Um, any other comments, scenes, anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to bring up at the end here?
Well, let me just do a quick perusal of my notes. How about you? Anything on your end?
Man, other than just it's freaking great. I love it. Oh, the one other thing, and this kind of goes along again with kind of the stakes back and forth, but like while you're perusing, like Gachiakuta, the and I've brought this up in the past, but the fact that the battle should fall, the emotional climax of the battle should go along with the climax of the physical battle should go along with an emotional or character growth at the same time. I think that all of the back and forth stuff, like every time that changes hands, it's not just a like, oh, there was I punched hard enough and now you're done, right? It's not a stupid My Hero like I said Colorado Smash and it was stronger than Nebraska Smash, and so now the fight is over. It's like, nope, every single time the power changes hands, there's an emotional or a character growth moment or a reveal. Like
That's
every
true.
physical change in the battle is accompanied by some other kind of character or emotional or whatever change, like I said. So, and I just think that that like works for me so much, and that I always appreciate when a fight should have a it's not just the power of friendship and my punched harder, right? It's like, nope, there was a thing that they thought through and planned that this happened. It was someone was planted beforehand and it happened. There was a group that did something and it messed it up. It's like, it's more than just I punched harder and I won. It's always a swap based on a character thing, which I think is
Yeah,
just great.
and I think like Keirana sets the series up to be driven by emotions, feelings, and we can call it the power of friendship, but it is that, and it is that, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit more than that too. It covers more. And I I like it. I think some people might find that hammy, but I don't know. It just works. You see it in your favorite shonen anyway.
Yeah.
It's just tied into the lore of how powers work in this world.
Well, and it's like it's tropey, but this is still a battle shonen. Like it's just it doesn't have as many battles as other battle shonen, but like it is still that is still kind of what it is. And so we're still gonna get the fights, and the fact that she just does them better and has all the character and lore stuff happening around it, to me it just improves it, right? Like I know that we're not gonna get a a fight every like when this fight is over, I know that there's going to be an entire volume where there's basically no combat, right? Because that's kind of what we've done. Like sometimes two, right? There's basically an entire volume of no combat, and there'll be an entire volume setting up some other arc, and then there will be a volume that has fighting in it. That's kind of what has happened in the past. So the series is a third or less fighting, but I think that it makes the fights even more impactful along the way. So
I agree. Yeah, and they're never like typical shonen fights. They're always they never it's never brute force that wins the day usually.
yeah,
But I guess a few things. Zanka's buddy Hyo, well, not buddy but rival
yeah.
Hyo, has no choker in general. I don't think any of the Hellguards do. I don't think they use the chokers.
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember if they had chokers in the past or not. Um,
And I think for this arc in particular, that makes them. I think it makes sense that Maimo's like plan didn't really work out because he couldn't have predicted a Hellguard disarming all the bombs or even known it was happening in the moment. Because she has no trigger. So
yeah,
his bombs getting disarmed in the background, it makes total sense that he wouldn't know about it.
yeah,
I think another theme that we see across this volume is control versus connection. Um,
mm-hmm. Yep,
where like Maimo is all about control, controlling others, controlling himself, um, and it's never about understanding or connecting. And we're not at the end of the fight, so we'll see how that all gets delivered. But essentially, Rudo's cheat is one way. We already saw it get delivered, where uh, Gauntis had the suggestion to infuse the cap and make the transformation happen that way, so it's not permanent. Um, but I'm curious to see how it manifests even more, like in the coming chapters.
yeah. It's a thing you see a lot of, sort of a free will versus imposed will slash slavery type thing. I mean, it happens in One Piece. A bunch of the bad guys are enslavers and the good guys want freedom, and it's very much a. You're right that it's contrasted less with freedom here and more with a like connection between people as opposed to enforcing enforcing one will onto a person as opposed to connecting with that person equally and sharing something. That's kind of how it's
Right.
set up here, which is cool. Yeah, that's a very good point.
And I think like I think what's lost in controlling others versus connecting is you lose perspective and you lose opinion and ideas, you know? So
Mm,
I'm I'm wondering if because it's already Gauntes plus Rudo working together to make this form happen in the first place. Uh and the form is already stronger than Maimo's form. So that's like one way on how connection beats control uh in this volume, but I'm curious
yeah.
to see how it continues in the next one.
Well, and I think it's reinforced by what we've seen in the past with Rudo and his arc, in that his power more continually comes from his connection and the friends he makes at the cleaners than it does from his own internal rage, which we even kind of get that reiterated in this volume, of that don't let your solo, quest get in the way of what
Right.
really matters to you. And that's, to me, implied to be like, what really matters to Rudo now is his friends and the people he cares about and the connections he's made, as opposed to his his thirst for knowledge, which is exactly what Maimo is about. Is that Maimo has all this knowledge that he's taken, literally stolen from people using Gauntes, and then Gauntes is literally telling Rudo, like, the knowledge you should not, don't let your quest for the knowledge of who killed Regto or for what's going on elsewhere get in the way of what really matters to you, which is the connections you've made. So yeah,
Right.
that's absolutely what is going on here with this. And yeah, we will see how this is resolved and how
And I think
that yeah how it resolves.
I guess my final thought is that Rito has this line that says that said it is something like human beings can only be human beings. They can never be gods.
Yeah,
Um and I'm And this is like paired with Rudo's nihilistic side, his dark side. We just speaking all this good shit. Um, that came out for a second, but Rudo's own connections to others. He remembered Countess's words, and that pulled him back to sanity from that dark place he was in. And we saw kind of like the serpents around the gloves creeping up his arms. You know, like the scarring he has creeping up his arms as he's being all nihilistic. Uh, I'm curious how does he know so much about gods? And
Yeah.
how does he have such a pulse on like what people can be and what people can't be? Like because he's right, sure, but I'm does he know more than he's letting on? Is this like a part of him that he can't access normally? Like it just feels like he knows about gods.
I think he does.
Yeah.
I think we see here that like he's at very least familiar with the idea of a god, which is not something that anyone on the ground is, except for Mimo. You know, like Mimo and probably Tamsi and maybe a couple of other people, because it's been deleted or erased from the knowledge on the ground, right? Like that nobody knows what
Right.
it is. I think you're right. I think that Rudo probably has more context of like if you had never heard of a god before and someone mentioned it, be like, oh, I guess God's really powerful. I think Rudo has more knowledge of like, you know, well, a god is an all powerful thing or a benevolent being or whatever it is. I think Rudo has that knowledge of.
I feel like it's even more than the Bible school lesson he got from his dad because like look go to the
Yeah.
next page real quick. Um there or one more page where he regains his sanity, I guess. I'm not sure where it is. Where
Is
he
it?
yeah, this one. Yeah, so this is an interesting one because it feels like even borderline out of character for Rudo, which seems like it looks like he's possessed or in a possessed
Yeah.
state. Um where he says he wishes he could be a god, but he's just a human. Maybe he found out everything he could about gods, so he could copy the gods, but he's still just a rotting piece of garbage. Um I don't think Rudo sees people that way normally. And when does he slander garbage?
Well, and
Uh,
also, yeah, no, true. And there's also the reaction of Gautis and Rio, where they're both like, "Huh, that's
huh?
out of character, right?" Like it's the reaction there. Yeah, I don't.
And his
Yeah,
like scars are squirming, right? They're growing up his arm. So it's
yeah,
like this is like out of character for him. And then his eyes regain like the light they used to have, and then he comes back.
yeah. And you get
This
when your goal consumes you, you lose sight of what matters most. I agree that this is a possession like event here of some kind because you're the big thing I think is that he says he's a rotting piece of garbage, and we know that Rudo's the boy who loves garbage, and that's his
yeah,
whole redeeming quality. And so calling someone garbage as like a slander is what really I think throws Countess and Rio here of like that's not how he usually talks about garbage. So
yeah,
I agree
yeah.
this is out of character for the Rudo we know, and yeah, some kind of possession event essentially or something.
I think the choice of comparing them to garbage was probably like an intentional choice on
Oh yeah,
Keirana's part to hint at whatever is happening here. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, uh, just something I think we should keep in our minds as we continue.
yeah. No, and that's a really
I'm
good
sure it'll
point.
come
That
up
definitely that's hints at that darkness that's inside Rudo is not is is something else, right? I mean, we haven't
for sure.
it's been a very slow reveal of what that is and what it means, but that's I think maybe the most information we've gotten there. So yeah,
Yeah,
super interesting. I'm curious.
I
Cool.
wonder if it's like I wonder if it's like some twist where he's like a vessel for the Sherbrooke family or like a safeguard
That's what
or
I'm
somebody
thinking. It's
else's soul
something
is in
like
there.
that. Yeah, or it's like I want to say it's like it's a seed that's inside a person that can become a god slash the Watchman, and if it's inside you, you know, it's a you know it's more than just the human soul. It's you know an extra soul, kind of like it's so the idea that I had that I've thought about in the past is thinking about kind of we talked about the start with anima and it's possessing people and a person has a soul that is anima and that anima is poured into a vital instrument which then awakens it and then there's anima slash part of a soul inside it. This seems like Rudo just has someone else's or something else's anima slash soul inside him, right? And what that
Yeah, it seems like that.
is maybe it's from the Watchmen. Maybe it's a Sherbrooke, bloodline thing. Maybe it's some other evil thing that's been implanted in him. I don't know, but it's something like that, right? I think he has another soul, another anima power inside him, and or maybe it's a thing that,
or maybe it's multiple, since he can use so many weapons, right?
Yeah, maybe
it's like a collective kind of a situation, but
and
who knows?
That now that you say that, I mean, assumedly the Watchmen series, like, how could one man be so powerful? We've like mentioned that in the past in these discussions, and it's like a way that someone could be that powerful is to take anima from others and then put it into their pieces, right? And so potentially what happened here is Rudo's had those gloves since he was really little. I also think that it could be a thing where, and it's mentioned in this volume even, where someone who is a complete soul is the Watchmen series it poisons them, or maybe tries to take their soul. And if you have a hole,
I was thinking the same thing.
I think the Watchmen series might fill that hole in the person's soul with its own
these are all,
power,
you're right,
or something like that. So.
Or it says it brings peace if you have nothing, right? And if like all of these people who had nothing, they're very lonely. So does it mean it brings peace as in there's like other aspects, other people in there?
Maybe.
I don't know. This is theory crafting, everybody, but I feel like we're onto something.
I think
I always feel that way.
I don't know if it's necessarily directly from the Watchmen series, because we haven't seen other Watchmen series people have any kind of like, they don't like talk to voices inside themselves or anything. So I think Rudo has something else extra, but I do think that it's possible that the way the Watchmen series works is basically like, if your soul is broken, you can wear the Watchmen series, because the Watchmen series recognizes that you have a hole in your soul and it fills it in with power. And then if your soul is not broken, the Watchmen series looks at it and goes, I'm going to take your power. And that's how that's how the Watchmen series is so strong, is that it's something that takes power from anima or souls over time, or
like a double-edged sword. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's something like that. We're close. I don't think we have all the information, but it's closer.
There's something there. We're connecting some pieces, even if they're not real pieces.
And definitely we're definitely getting piecemeal drops of what's going on, and it definitely feels like we can theorize closer to what it could be. So,
but is this what I love about series with great world building? It's fun to theory craft. It's fun to speculate on this stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And Kaorana is really taking her time and letting this all marinate, and I appreciate that. There's like just a bunch of questions, and they're all interesting ones.
Yeah, it's great. I love the series. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I wrote in all caps in my notes, I wrote, "This is the sickest shit in the fucking world, man." Just because I think there's so much cool stuff in this in this volume.
Yeah,
cool.
For real.
Anything else from your notes you wanted to bring up, or we
no, that's about it.
Cool. Let's get out of here then. Right at a little over 2 hours. Cool. Hey, thanks again, everyone, for listening or watching. Please stick around for continued discussions. We'll be doing volume 19 next, as soon as our busy lives can make room for it. Thank you for the patience and sticking with us as we continue the discussion. I know it's been almost 9 months, I think, since the last one. So, hey, if you enjoy our discussions, you can go and check out some other book club deep dives we have on the channel, all listed as playlists somewhere on there. And I think that's it for this episode of the GACHIAKUTA Book Club read-through, so adios.
See you later.
And don't forget to read more manga.